Child, the show is Africa Daily. Let's go now to the headlines across Africa segments. Don't go away.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Headlines across Africa.
Okay.
Well, today we're going to Namibia, Cameroon, and Niger, and we're starting from Niger, where we're reading from the Le Sahel newspaper.
Okay.
One thing I noticed with most of the Niger newspapers, literally the headlines has someone visiting the president,
Mm-hmm.
or the president is visiting somebody.
So this time is it different from that?
This is to
So
say,
far, it's the
he's
same thing?
received the ambassador of the United States of America to Niger.
Oh, okay.
Like
he was
a lot of
recently sworn
official
in.
people, a lot of people, official people have been trooping into Niger.
I want to believe it's still, the congratulatory moments still going in. Okay, tell us
Well,
about
the
it.
President of the Republic, Head of State, S.E. Mohammed Bazoum, yesterday granted a hearing to the Ambassador of the United States of America to Niger,
Okay.
S.E. Eric P. Whitaker. Now, the U.S. diplomat came to deliver a letter from the United States President Joe Biden to President Mohammed Bazoum. The two personalities also discussed the United States Embassy's 4D mission, which is diplomacy, democracy, development, and defense.
Okay.
At the end of the hearing, the American diplomat reiterated his congratulations to the new president of Niger for his inauguration before saying that his country is proud to have sent a delegation composed of members of diplomacy, development, defense, including Ambassador Andrew Young, deputy commander of the American Military Civil Engagements for Africa, the senior development advisor, Barbara Brigadier General of Agriculture, Fletcher Washington. I've sent a letter from the American president that underlines the historic importance of the first democratic transition of power in Niger. Joe Biden reiterated the U.S. commitment to continue our 60-year relationship to promote prosperity, security, and democracy in Niger. This was said by the ambassador, Eric Whitaker. Well, there's a story coming from the Le Sahel newspaper in Niger. And now we're moving on to Cameroon, where we're reading from the Journal du Cameroon, and the headline says already more than 300 people welcomed at the disarmament center in Mary, Far North. Well, in the Far North region of Cameroon, the Center for Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration, CDDR, has already taken in 328 people, including 115 men, 69 women, and 114 children. Most are ex-combatants of the repentant Boko Haram sect and their families. A few days ago, the CDDR in Mary, which is Diamer Department, received about 50 new residents, 12 men, 11 women, and 32 children. Their surrender took place in a number of ways, including through the military operations of influence that the multinational force and other forces organized in Nigeria. Now, in December 2018, the President of the Republic established a National Committee for Disarmament, Demobilization, and Reintegration. The purpose of this structure is to welcome and prepare for the reintegration of ex-combatants involved in the conflicts that are shaking Cameroon. It was led by a coordinator in the person of former Governor Fai Yango Francis. Well, CNDDRA is actually building transit centers in the far north regions for ex-Boko Haram combatants and in the northwest and southwest regions for former English-speaking crisis militia men. I think the latter, which is former English-speaking crisis militia men, those latter centers are regularly shaken by mood swings where their residents demand better living conditions and then protest against the length of their stay. But that's a story coming from Chenadu, Cameroon. I think it's good
It
to be
is,
able to reintegrate people who have moved from one state of life to another state, trying to, bring them back to society, to humanity, move them from that aggressive point of view, from they taking lives to let them learn how to appreciate it. And I think this is a good way to be able to do it. I just hope that they have all their security antennas up and they really are handling this thing well.
Yeah. On the lookout for any unexpected occurrence. Okay.
Well, finally, we're reading from the Namibian in Namibia, and the headline says Shweletwen to explain PM's 14 million Namibian dollar farm deal.
Okay, now that's the name.
Yeah.
Shuela 10. Did you is that did you pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Shuela 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Let's hear the story.
Well, Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform,
Mm-hmm.
Kale Shwelethen, is expected to explain how his ministry approved a deal to buy 2 farms from a company owned by Prime Minister Sarah Kugongwela Amadila and her husband for more than 40 million Namibian dollars, an amount alleged to have been excessively inflated. Shweleteng's ministry last year bought 2 farms in the Otozum Pudu region from a company owned by the Prime Minister and her husband, Onismos Tobias Amadila. The properties in question, Farm Guab number 760 and Farm Duweep number 1149, are registered under a company called Seize the Moment Investment 56 Corporation. What a company name.
Yeah, seize the moment, huh? Okay.
Yeah, seizing the moment.
Right.
Well, the documents seen by the Namibian show that the company bought the 2 farms, for about 5.5 million Namibian dollars in 2011. Farm Duweep, which measures 7,485 hectares, was valued at 3.8 million Namibian dollars when the company acquired it in 2011, the documents indicate. Now, the company sold the 2 farms to the government last year for more than 14 million Namibian dollars, making a profit of about 10 million
Oh,
dollars
come
from the
on.
deal.
This is outrageous. Come on. And the company is owned by the Shwelentain and his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I mean, if it's business, why all these surplus values? God, anyway.
I think that also brings us to where we actually come to realize the fact that most often there are companies and there are people who are not necessarily willing to help the state grow. Because,
No.
I mean, if the government is trying to purchase a land for something, if the ministry trying to purchase
Yeah.
the land for something,
And
and
if you own it
the land,
privately,
you can, yes, nobody's saying cut a
don't
loss to
set-
yourself,
yeah.
but don't inflate the
absolutely.
price and give it to him because it's his government. The same government has to cater for so many things, and that is what is sometimes. And
So that's like
the
an
own-
indirect way of just, you know what? Okay, so if I don't get this opportunity here, let me just put whatever. But come on, this is too much.
It's
This
not
is
good.
too much.
I just hope they'll be able to look into it properly and then explain and actually go through, because this is not right for them to
Now, for
inflate
me,
prices.
if
for them.
if you ask my opinion, I mean the transaction or whatever purchasing should just be reverted. Like no more purchasing. Look elsewhere for another property.
And I think one thing too, I'll just say is that look, if you're a government official, or a government that you want to purchase or do work, stop going to the people you know. Stop.
No, for all you
taking
know,
the people
maybe for all you know, it was just introduced to the table. Like, okay, why don't we suggest this company?
No.
And
Shwelethen is actually in charge of the minister of he's a minister of agriculture,
Okay,
water and land reform.
and
now
he
the land is owned by the prime minister and her husband.
oh, okay. So the prime minister sold that to the government to
Yeah.
Shwelethen.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was actually owned by Shwelethen himself. It was like,
No. Shwelethen is the
and
one
the
who has
prime
to
minister. So what
explain-
example are you setting? You know, for the future generations and those who are looking.
No, but can't
up
you
to
see the company that even registered? Sometimes they create
Seize the
shell
what?
companies.
Seize
Seize
the
the
what?
moment. They create shell companies. So you come and then you have to go through a middleman and you have no idea it's linked to them until you
Exactly,
get
and they're the same
hands
people
on the
creating
documents.
these governments.
That is a problem.
from government's money.
That's the thing, and that's what most countries are doing. Oh, we have this construction. Oh, one of my this thing is doing
And
very
it's,
good.
and for all
Then
you know,
they take
it's
to
his,
them.
and it's
It
maybe
is
it's.
his. But
Oh,
then he has
dear.
put it through a shell company, so you
Let's-
don't know that
let's-
that's
we
actually
have,
a
we
shell
have the
company.
resources and the wealth.
we're
Let's
not helping
let's
ourselves.
Let's not have all of these in one man's pocket when there are other people still suffering, looking for even a place to lay their head.
There's
Right.
this concept they should even remove him from prime minister and take.
It's not a good
give the-
example at
Ah!
all. It's not a good example. Anyway, let's just
Well-
continue and wrap it up. 'Cause,
Well, that's a story we have coming from the
Unfortunately.
Namibian newspaper.
Okay. The show is Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. If you ask me, if you are in a place of power, be an exemplary leader. This is telling the other people or those looking up to you, the future generation, that it's okay